Hi, this is Andre Seegers from GameExplain.com bringing you our Donkey Kong Country Returns video review. Alright, so I'm a huge Donkey Kong Country fan, with Diddy's Conquest being my personal favorite. Needless to say, Donkey Kong Country Returns had a lot to live up to. Luckily, the game not only met, but actually exceeded my expectations. It accomplished this by retaining the great level design, worthwhile collectibles, and brilliant visuals while throwing in plenty of new ideas. Perhaps the biggest change is that you actually control both Kongs at once, since Diddy permanently rides piggyback in single player. What this means is that you'll have a total of 4 hit points as well as access to Diddy's jetpack. That's right, you now have a jetpack. This baby allows you to stay afloat for an extra second or two, which makes platforming a little more interesting. But what really sets Donkey Kong Country Returns apart from the Banana Bunch is how alive the game feels. The level of interaction with the environment is simply unprecedented for a platformer. It feels like everything you do is impactful to some degree, whether it's small things like blowing on a flower to reveal a secret, or barrel blasting your way through a few towers. But what really blew me away was the constant interplay of background and foreground elements. You'll find yourself seeking cover from tidal waves, dodging the arms of a giant sea monster, and running away for safety from a barrage of cannonballs. In addition, even Donkey Kong and Diddy will sometimes find themselves blasted into the background, truly blurring the lines between graphics and gameplay. Speaking of graphics, they're fantastic. Instead of adhering to the more lifelike visuals of the original, this game takes a more stylistic approach, and it could not have worked better. Take for example this fantastic looking level where Donkey and Diddy are silhouetted against a setting sun. It's beautiful. Now I know many of you are wondering about the music. After all, it's one of the things the series is famous for. And that's where things break down a little bit. Don't get me wrong, the music is still good, but the soundtrack revisits the source material a few too many times. And unfortunately, even the new tracks are too ambient sounding, making them easily forgotten. But don't take my word for it, here's a quick sample. If there's anything else that stands out about this game, it's how wonderfully diverse it is. You'll find yourself riding rhinos, manning minecarts, and rocking rockets, and these are just a few of countless unique scenarios in the game. Each level also contains a wide variety of collectibles, providing an extra challenge for those who seek it. Besides my issues with the music, I really only have 2 complaints. First, respawning enemies. Just because you're dead doesn't give you any right to reappear once I've turned my back and walked away. Granted, it's a minor issue, but it's something you might notice when hunting down these collectibles. My second problem is that it's much more difficult to perform a high bounce off an enemy whenever Diddy's riding piggyback. This is because the game will often misinterpret your button press and fire your jetpack instead. Okay, enough of the nitpicking, here's the bottom line. This game is one of the best platformers of the last 10 years. It's fun, fresh, and keeps true to the spirit of the original games. Donkey Kong Country Returns gets 5 stars out of 5 for its single player mode. For the first time ever, a Donkey Kong Country game allows 2 players to play through the main game at the same time. This mode works extremely well and is thankfully lacking the chaos of New Super Mario Bros. Wii. My only major complaint is a lack of true drop-in and drop-out multiplayer, instead forcing you to retreat to the map screen to add or drop players. With that said, the multiplayer portion of Donkey Kong Country Returns has also earned itself 5 stars out of 5. Be sure to check out GameExplain.com for more Donkey Kong Country Returns coverage.